Welcome back, you guys. Tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 PM UK time presents an amazing opportunity for us to maintain our current 4th spot position. Currently, we've got West Ham 2 points behind us, followed by Spurs who are only 3 points behind us. So it makes you realise that with opportunities and games like tomorrow, we really can't afford to waste them. Now, we've got players returning back from the international break. We have a big must-win game against FC Porto a few days after tomorrow's game. So it really feels like smart rotation is going to be key to get that result in tomorrow's game. And this now leads us on to our opponents in West Brom. Now, at this point in time, it seems quite safe to say and assume that they are destined to be relegated come the end of the season. Now, to be honest, considering their past form throughout the season, their last 6 games have been quite decent. 6 games, 3 draws, 1 win, followed by 2 defeats. A player that has stepped up during this period has been our very own player in Conor Gallagher. However, do not expect him at all to be taking any part in tomorrow's game, which is a bonus in itself, on top of the other bonus, which shows that West Brom's away form has been absolutely atrocious in the Premier League this season. But still, you guys, as I'm stressing, we cannot afford to be complacent in tomorrow's game. This is the perfect game on paper against a team deep down in the bottom half of the table, straight after a very long international break. A win tomorrow will boost our confidence even more, allowing us to take that confidence to the game against FC Porto. But I think one thing that will boost confidence even more is to show our goal threat in tomorrow's game, because if there has been one slight, very understandable criticism, it's the fact that we have not shown that free scoring form that we are still hoping to see after the massive amounts of money that we spent on attacking players last summer. So you guys, let's make sure we concentrate, let's sure we bang in the goals. And today's match preview, I'm going to break down Tuchel's press conference. I'm going to go through the predicted lineups, and I'm going to give my match prediction at the end, so you guys stay tuned. Of course, I have released a new daily video, so make sure you guys give that a watch. And for today's video, help me get 2,000 likes. Without wasting any more time, let's get straight into Tuchel's press conference and hear what he had to say after the international break. Now, we start the conference with pretty bad news. We got some confirmation from Tuchel suggesting that Kante won't be fit in time for the first leg against FC Porto. Now, let's cast our minds to the game tomorrow, considering that Jorginho had slight issues himself. Kova just returned back from international break. Tomorrow, could this be a rare opportunity for Gilmour to get some EPL minutes? Fingers crossed, you guys. Now we move on, and talks turn towards Tuchel picking up his first Manager of the Month awards, with Tuchel saying that back in Germany and France, they don't actually have a reward like this to begin with. Being a guy that doesn't necessarily care about the individual honours, he's going to see his success and his win as a symbolic effort from the team, as a symbolic effort for their rewards, and for me, this is a very fair answer from Tuchel. Now, talks turn towards Conor Gallagher, with Tuchel saying that Conor is a player that is constantly improving every single time. His focus at this point in time should remain with West Brom, and in regards to his future at the club, that's something that's not going to be discussed at this point in time, but at a future date. So if you're Conor, it's nice to know that the manager has his eyes on you, that he clearly knows how you're performing in the League 2. He's been very good for West Brom, and let's hope that he continues to grow and improve. And of course, let's see what happens with his future at this club. Now, throughout the international break, you guys, the news was coming thick and it was coming fast. 2 stories that dominated the international period was news surrounding Aguero confirming that he will be leaving Man City, and of course Erling Haaland news. Now, naturally, it's only fair that Tuchel was asked to give his thoughts and opinions behind the stories, and in typical diplomatic Tuchel fashion, he stated that out of respect for his former club, he won't be discussing a player that is not on the current club's books, which is a very fair answer. Tuchel kind of admitted that he knows what's happening with the stories, with Tuchel saying that right now it's quite clear that there's a race to sign the player. It's quite clear that they're trying to garner more interest for him, and I think that basically confirms what we know, that Haaland is the main striker for the club for next summer. So let's see what happens there. And in the case of Aguero, Tuchel gave the same diplomatic answer that he gave for Haaland. So, I feel very optimistic personally behind these stories, but destined to sign some big names to somewhere up front. Let's see what happens, you guys. And to move on, we found out that Thiago Silva will be starting in the game tomorrow. Now, it's felt like an eternity since we've last seen Silva in the team. I think it's a great boost to have, especially considering that in these next 2 months, these are some really decisive months. We have the potential to hopefully progress deeper in our pursuits to get silverware come the end of the season, and having players like Silva, who's been there, done that, who's been there in the tough parts of the season, well, he comes at the perfect time for me. So it's great to know that he's starting tomorrow. Yes, more summer transfer news was asked again, with Tuchel saying that due to the state of the pandemic, it has made the market quite confusing. He was giving some hypotheticals in regards to some of the current issues that are affecting clubs right now. For example, who's guaranteed to be available in the market, what players might have to be funded by selling players that we already have, etc, etc. And as Tuchel said, right now he's only focused on the team, which is understandable. We have objectives to make sure that we get guaranteed, you guys, and Tuchel is going to remain patient until the summer comes. And to end things, of course, Timo Werner was brought up again. Now, we've all seen that big miss against Macedonia, and Tuchel started off his question by joking around a bit by saying that maybe the pass from Gundogan actually wasn't good enough, which obviously, I had my opinions on Twitter, but I think maybe looking back at things even more, it felt like maybe Werner's timing of his run, his anticipation was quite poor, and he should have done a lot better with that. So regardless though, Tuchel confirmed that Werner is taking extra training sessions to improve his finishing, and says that he has the utmost confidence in him. This is a player that has been scoring goals since he was 5 years old. Goals are very natural for him. He will get back to full form. And you guys, on that note, that was the press conference from Tuchel. We now move on to the predicted lineup part. As I said before, knowing that the team have just returned back from the international break and that we have a big game, the first leg against FC Porto a few days after the West Brom game, it seems like we are destined to see some smart rotation in the team, some opportunities given to players that remained during the international break, opportunities given to players that returned back early as well. And for the next predicted lineups, I'm going to give my predictions on 2. And let's start with the first one. Now, in typical fashion, it's forever going to be a 3-4-2-1. And in this team, I've gone for Tammy Abraham. Alongside him, Pulisic and Ziyech. Wing backs, I've gone for Alonso, Reece James. Midfield, I've gone for Korver and Jorginho. In defence, I've gone for Rudiger. I've gone for Silva, and I've gone for Azpilicueta with Mendy in goal. Now, with Silva, he's a guaranteed one because Tuchel confirmed he's going to play. Does this mean that we could see Silva taking part in the game against FC Porto? I wouldn't be surprised by that, to be honest. He needs to build his fitness up now, and against West Brom, this is the perfect team to do so. Wing backs, Alonso, he remained with the team. I'd assume that he'd be starting in the game. Reece James didn't play every single game for England, and he had a very good international break. And for me, considering that Hudson-Odoi is injured at this point in time, it seems like he must be playing in the game tomorrow. Now, in midfield, I've gone for George and Korver because maybe Tuchel's thinking, we can't afford to slip up. I'm going to go and rely upon experienced players again, and George and Korver really suit that style of play that Tuchel has implemented in the team since he's taken over. Now up front, you guys, I think I read a report somewhere suggesting that Tammy might not be fit for the game tomorrow and that maybe he's targeting the aim against Man City, but I think maybe that was incorrect. Tuchel didn't say anything about Tammy, and you'd assume that because he remained with the team and that he seems like he's back now, he must be starting in the game tomorrow. I hope he does. Of course, we can't forget he is still our current top scorer. You don't do that by accident. You don't do that by fluke. And alongside him, Pulisic, who returned back early, who had a very good international break, especially against Northern Ireland. Partnered alongside Hakim Ziyech, who wasn't really used as much in the sense that, Morocco weren't playing bare games. It feels like this could be a realistic lineup we see tomorrow, and I'm hoping for once that I actually get some predictions right because, so far under Tuchel, I haven't guessed one lineup absolutely correct. So now you guys, we move on to the second predicted lineup. Now this team is a little bit different. Up front, I've gone for Tammy Abraham. I'm hoping that he starts tomorrow. Alongside him, I've gone for Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech. Wing backs, I've gone for Alonso and I've gone for Pulisic. In midfield, I've gone for Gilmour and I've gone for Korver. And in defence, I've gone for Zuma, Silva, Azpilicueta and Mendy in goal. Now, my thinking behind my use of Pulisic is that Tuchel used him in this role before. Now, with Reece James only coming back from international break, Tuchel may be thinking, you know what? We have a big game against Porto. I want you fit for that game. And against West Brom, a team that will defend and park the bus, we can afford to have Pulisic playing more as a very attacking wing-back down the right hand side. Now, in midfield, I've gone for Gilmour because, I think with the game against FC Porto, Gilmour's more than good enough to be starting against West Brom. I'm hoping that Tuchel gives him an opportunity. In defence, I've gone for Zuma alongside Silva. I think these guys play very well together, and Zuma before the international break was back in the team, performing very well, and I think he deserves to get more game time in the game tomorrow. And of course, you guys up front, Tammy alongside Werner, and Ziyech can with Werner. My thinking is, we need him to get his confidence back in front of goal. And unsurprisingly, a lot of times where Werner has been able to get goals is when he has played alongside Tammy Abraham. I think having that focal point up front, just as we saw with Werner last season for RB Leipzig, playing off of Poulsen and other strikers like this, I feel like this really suits him quite well. And, let's hope that if this was the case and he does start, he does get himself on the score sheet against West Brom. Perfect game to do so. And there you guys, they were the two predicted lineups. In the comments below, give your thoughts and opinions. If you like mine, say yes. If you don't, say your reasons why. And if you think there's a different lineup that you think we could see tomorrow, then of course make sure to write it in the comments below. And now you guys, I'm now going to end things with the predicted scoreline for the game tomorrow. And as you guys can see, I'm going for a 3-0 win for us. Now, my thinking behind this is that I can't see West Brom scoring goals against us unless it's like divine intervention, unless it's like the referee helping them, fluke moments, wonder goals, just, things you can't easily predict going in their favour. I do feel with us now, with the month we have, yes, we've got some important knockout games this month, but at the same time too, we're playing against lots of teams in the bottom half of the league table, and I think now's the time to, translate all our efforts, our hard work, into goals. So I think if we can get the goals tomorrow, you guys, this could be the start of a very beautiful month in April. And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Line CV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Peace.